Hi, and welcome to Ujima. Ujima, the third day of Kwanzaa, is collective works and responsibilities. And it is the ability for us to come together and make our brothers and sisters' problems our own. And this can show up in many ways: how you participate in your church, what you give to charity, how you give your time and your effort to your brothers and sisters, your neighbors. It's for you to reach out in your community and see what works that you can get done. And I have to admit, the past couple of years, I struggled with this simply because there were so many things I was involved with when I was newly coming from America and retiring here. I belonged to the choir. I always collected food. I always volunteered at libraries, collected books, reached out to children, took kids on travel, and did all these things in my community. But when I moved here, it took me a little while to reach out, especially since I was coming here as a caregiver. So I had planned to volunteer at the library as a librarian, support them in acquiring books. And I had all these programs I was trying to get after working with the head librarian here. And COVID came along. So as the world is starting to open up a bit again, there are certain things that I'd like to do. One of the great gifts this past year was Dress a Girl Around the World. I cannot tell you what it did for me to see a girl standing in Kenya wearing my avocado dress. It just made my heart sing. I made about 17 dresses, and at the beginning of the year, I committed to 2 dresses a month, and I'm going to continue with that because I reached out to my my father's base church and home, and they said they can always use little girls' clothes. So there's no reason for me not to make even more dresses to contribute to Dress a Girl, as well as contribute to my home church. Also, there's a few other organizations that can use my gifts as a seamstress, small quilts for children who are frightened by being in the hospital, dolls. And there's also one for making small bags for feminine products, because some girls are not allowed to go to school if they cannot find a way to bring their products with them. So I'm going to really, I got all the information. I'm going to dive into it. So my collective works and responsibility, I do support several cousins and other people in my community, but not in the manner and to the extent. So I have a story to tell you. It's not that I felt smug. I just felt that I was doing my part. We tithe. We assemble our food boxes maybe 3 times a year. I have my own secret ministries. I hate to see barefooted people who are homeless, and our homeless look a little different than the homeless that I had back in America. You know, they're so filthy, no shoes on their feet. And I guess food is not much of a problem when the food is growing in the trees, but I just think of that hot pavement, and I see them walking without shoes. Where I live, we have a predictable amount of homeless, and then the same guy that you see in the same spot. So last year, I decided to buy stacks of like soccer flip-flops, the types that Velcro over the top, because I felt that most of them can't slide their feet into standard shoes because they've been using their feet as shoes. And so I put a set of them together and carried them around in my car. Now, I know everybody thought I was a mad woman because, you know, in order for you to be homeless here, in this community, someone can't control you. Either your family can't control you, there's some sort of mental illness going on. It's not so much, there's something going wrong while you're homeless. And so I've only seen one woman. Everyone else have been males. So I decided to do my sandal ministry last year. And I was distributing, if I saw somebody walking by, I called them over. If they were willing to come over, I gave them a pair of sandals for them, a pair of those sandals to put on their feet. So I felt I was doing not all that I could do, but I was doing some of what I could do. But Christmas Eve, Jesus showed up at my front gate. So we were in the house talking, cooking, making all sorts of things. And a young man was at our gate, which is quite a ways away from the house. And he was, hello, he was yelling out. And because of the crime rate and the fact that we were just warned a couple days ago about people coming to our neighborhood, it's like people come to the suburbs because we're easier victims than city. We'll open a door. We're not as on guard. So they were warning that during this holiday season that we might be singled out as victims, our neighborhood. And he was yelling out. And so I went and looked through the window, tall young man, disheveled and everything. And I was scared. Honest to God, I was scared. I wouldn't come out. And yes, haunted me this entire holiday season, because I thought to myself, is that Jesus at the front door? Whose baby is that? Who's calling out, asking for assistance this Christmas Eve? And I'm so filled with fear that I can't walk down my steps, give him food, give him clothes, give him money, because I'm terrified. And to my shame, I let him move on. And the houses are very far apart, and I don't think he was getting any shelter. But I immediately felt you were called to be kind and loving, and your fear kept you from doing that. So, of course, by the time I sucked myself together and decided what I was going to do, he was like gone, couldn't see him anywhere. And look, y'all have seen the view from my veranda. I have got binoculars. You can see far and few. I'm like, where'd he go? Where'd he go? And then I thought to myself, oh my God, have I been tested by the angels and I have failed? Yeah. And the day before I was delivering food to church and here today I'm failing this young man who needed something on Christmas Eve. So I do respond to a lesson. I do, if I get a lesson, and I will be prepared. From now on, I will have my bags, my relief bags that I keep in my car, with, food and socks and wipes and all that kind of stuff. I will have a set at the house. If the universe decides to send me another young man to my gate, and I will screw my courage to the sticking place and go out and help. I don't know why I wouldn't that day. Guess I was just scared, because I give to people all the time, but I didn't this time, and I really feel it. So once again, I really love the principles of Kwanzaa. They help inform me and help me plan for next year, or to see things in my spirit or in my character that need to be worked on. Dr. Naranga, when he put this together, he really did spend some time thinking about the things that would benefit the African American community, as well as your community, be it African American or not. So I guess mine's now the Afro-Caribbean community. But I will continue on. I will light the candle of Ujima, collective works and responsibility. Think about it. How can you be a shining light in your community? What little thing, not talking about saving the world, but what little thing can you do that might make a difference in the people in your life and in your community? Okay, happy Kwanzaa. See you tomorrow.